Welcome into day 32. Today is a grow day, so anybody who's on this trainer already knows what to do. Anybody who this is their first video watching with me, grow day means that you need to still get your meals in, get your 30 minutes of mild to moderate activity in, get your stretching in, and make sure you allow your body to recover. So as usual on Grow Day videos, I'm going to cover a question I got. I got this one through Instagram DMs, and that is, what motivates you? What's the mentality needed to be successful in bodybuilding, fitness, or achieving your goals? So I'm going to break this down in 3 of the most important things that I feel you need to really be successful in bodybuilding or in any of your major goals in life, and give you some examples, a little history of Noah so you can learn some of my bodybuilding roots. So first off, you have to be ready to kill and overcome any of your excuses. So this means something different to everyone, but again, I'm going to give you some examples for me in my bodybuilding journey. So when I first started off, I was skinny. I was very skinny. I was around 6 foot tall still and weighed about 135 pounds. So not the best place for bodybuilding. I didn't have the greatest genetics for it either, but I had an amazing work ethic that I learned from my dad and from my grandfather. So I had that going for me. So I wasn't willing to let my small stature be an excuse to not reach my goals. Genetics was not going to become an excuse. I also had no gym. I didn't have a gym membership at the time, so I got together a little workout set in my bedroom when I first started. I had a hanging pull-up bar. I had a flat bench with a barbell with up to 315 pounds of weight plates that I had gotten for my birthday. I had some resistance bands. I would use those for curls, laterals, and I would hang them from my pull-up bar in the doorway and put a broomstick through the resistance band handles and use that for tricep pushdowns, because no excuses. Even back then when I was first starting, I was reading the workouts in the magazines, and if it said tricep pushdowns, by golly, I was going to find a way to do tricep pushdowns even without a gym. And then I had a few dumbbells too. I think I had 5 pounds up to 30-pound dumbbells. And when I got to the point where I outgrew the 30s on exercises, I figured out a way where I would hold the 30s and then I would stagger the 25-pound dumbbells in my hand as well. So I had 55 pounds in each hand. And was that the safest option? Probably not, but that was my mentality. That's why I was successful. I wasn't willing to let the fact that I didn't have a gym membership at the start be a factor in limiting me. And the last excuse that I killed when it came to bodybuilding was I didn't have a job when I started off, so food was hard to come by. I had to go with what my parents got me, and they were very supportive of my journey, so that was helpful, but I didn't have access to a lot of expensive cuts of meat or anything like that. So I basically lived off of canned chicken, whey protein powder, oatmeal, rice, very plain stuff, PB&J. I would eat a lot of that just to get the calories in. Canned fruit. We lived on a farm at the time, so I had access to eggs, so I'd eat a ton of eggs. All these things that I would just get so tired and sick of, but I had a goal in mind and I was willing to accomplish it. So I was not about to let the fact that I didn't have access to steaks and all that stuff be a limiting factor in my results. I was willing to suck it up and eat that canned chicken, scrape the film off the top, and just eat can after can of that stuff. And it worked. Within the first 6 months or so, I went from 135 pounds up to over 185 pounds of lean, solid muscle gain. So no excuses. All right, number 2, you have to be driven towards your goal to the point where other people might think you're a little crazy. So again, let me give you a couple examples from my past when I first started out. So needless to say, first of all, you have to be okay with other people looking at you funny or making comments about the bodybuilding lifestyle, and you just have to laugh and shrug it off no matter what. So obviously anytime I would go to relatives' house or hang out with friends and whatnot, I would bring my own food because I was very determined with that. I was going to stick to my meal plan unless I had scheduled otherwise. Obviously at work as well, everybody would be like, oh yeah, you got your big jar of oatmeal thing again that you're bringing in. And you just have to learn to be amused, smile, chuckle, and shrug it off, even if the comments get a little bit annoying, because it's your goal, it's your choice that you're doing this, so you can't let yourself be bothered or annoyed by other people's perspective or comments on that choice. So get used to looking a little crazy in that fact. And not only that, but you sometimes have to be a little bit crazy. And the example I'm about to give you is not what I would recommend for clients and is not the healthiest thing. However, it's the mentality that I had when I started off that got me as far as I've gone. So not what I did here, but the mentality. So this was maybe 2 years or so into my bodybuilding journey. I was very, very determined on this. I never missed a meal. I never missed a workout. I remember at one point I was super sick to the point where I could barely get out of bed. I would get like super dizzy and vertigo, but I was still determined not to miss a meal. So I remember waking up. It had been 3 hours since I'd eaten. It was time to make a meal. I was feeling super dizzy. So I walked down the stairs, like grabbing onto the handrail, got down the stairs, made it all the way into the kitchen, cooked up my eggs and my bowl of oatmeal because I knew that was all I could stomach at the time, was some warm oatmeal and a couple eggs. So I prepped that all up and got it down and crawled all the way back upstairs, fell asleep again, and then 3 hours later, same thing, got back down and made it. So even when I was sick to the point where I could barely walk, I still got my meals in. I was a little crazy that way. I was also a hard gainer starting off, so I had to eat so much food in order to put on muscle. And I remember several times eating to the point where I would throw up, and then I'd be so annoyed because I had to remake the meal and then get those calories in and talk myself into not throwing up this time. That happened several times. Once at work, which nobody knows about it, the gym I used to work at that time, where I ate and it was just so much food. I was working laundry at that time at the gym. I was washing the gym towels and I barely made it to the laundry room. They had a trash can there. Chunks in the trash can. Lost that food. I was so frustrated. And then of course have to tie up the trash bag and take it out and just pretend you're taking out the trash, not tell anybody that you just puked because you're so determined to put on mass that you ate a ridiculous amount of food. So then I had to go in and eat the other meal I packed to get that in, and I was able to keep that one down. So anyway, moral of this story and tip number 2, or example number 2, you have to be a little crazy and willing to do whatever it takes to achieve your goals. And the last thing I'll cover in this video is you have to love it, you have to be passionate about it, and you have to believe in yourself. Like it says on my Arnold poster back in here, we all have the great inner power of self-faith, and this is huge. So in order to be successful at anything truly great, you have to have a passion and a vigor to chase it, and you have to believe in yourself and have that self-faith and self-reliance and self-motivation. You can't want to get into bodybuilding and expect your mom to make all your meals and wake you up, or expect your girlfriend, boyfriend to make sure that you get to the gym on time and drive you there and have all your meals prepared for you. This is a sport where you can find a lot of support and good friends, but most of the time you're going to be a loner on this. So bodybuilding is a 24-hour thing. You're either working out, you're eating, you're resting, you're supplementing, whatever you need to do with bodybuilding. Obviously, I encourage balance and life outside of this, but in order to do what needs to be done to be successful and grow a muscular physique, you have to be self-reliant and have that self-faith that you can do it. So the self-reliance comes down to the ability to do what needs to be done, getting those meals in, getting the workouts in, and not relying on anybody else with that. And the self-faith, you have to believe in your heart and in your core that you can actually do it. So many people I see, especially on things like TikTok or Instagram, that have so little self-faith in themselves that they hinder the amount of progress that they could otherwise achieve. They believe so much that in order to achieve a certain physique that you need amazing genetics or PEDs or things like that. And obviously when you get to a top pro level, that's true. But I see so many comments on posts of people who have just put in 10 years of hard work and look amazing. And then all these skinny people who've been lifting for 6 weeks are commenting, steroids, 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 when that's not the case. Or even if it is the case, it doesn't have to be the case. And it's that limiting mindset that's going to hold them back, and they're never going to amount to anything with a bodybuilding physique because they believe you need all these tricks and secrets and shortcuts in order to achieve an impressive physique, when nothing can substitute the hard work and dedication that gives you the true foundation of an amazing physique. Now again, I'm not saying that in order to get to a certain level, you don't need a little extra help from some other things, but having a mindset that instantly jumps to that conclusion is just going to hold you back. So have that self-faith that you can achieve an amazing physique, whether you choose to stay the natural route or go enhanced. You can take your physique and make it something impressive. All right, this was kind of a long, rambly video, but it's something that I'm very passionate about when people ask me why I'm motivated to do what I do and how they can be successful and get motivated themselves to accomplish it. So those 3 things, once again, you have to be ready to kill and put aside any excuses to achieve something great. You have to be a little bit crazy and willing to do whatever it takes. And you have to be self-motivated, self-reliant, and have that self-faith that really believes you can do it. Put those 3 together and it's a dangerous mix to achieving amazing things. I wish you the best on all of your goals and bringing your vision to life, and thank you for watching me as I continue to bring mine to life. Have a great rest of your grow day, and I will see you all in tomorrow's video.